Okay.
Okay, in order to prepare kefir, these are all the tools you need. There they are. You'll need some kefir. Here you can't see it, unfortunately, but what you're looking for to watch is the separation of the milk solids from the whey. Have you seen this on the internet already? Okay. What that looks like is a clear, translucent liquid that is a separation of the constituents of the milk, the whey from the milk solids. The milk solids will sometimes be on top, they'll sometimes be on the bottom. Sometimes they'll be either side, a band of whey right through it, looks like Jupiter. But what that means is that the kefir has eaten and excreted such of its goodness, its lactobacillus, its slight carbonation, its small amount of alcohol, to such an extent that the kefir is ready. It's eaten. It's used up all the resources that at its disposal, and you need to change it. So, yeah, so I like using wood simply because I do. There's really no reason other than personal preference. I don't even know, from the smell of this, take a smell. That smells like something that's getting to be ready. Smell.
Can't.
Oh, right. Keep your viral nose away from my kefir.
Yeah.
The best thing to store this stuff in, one of these. Oh, because there's medium, I can give you, I don't have any milk in here, do I? No, I don't. You're going to have to get some fresh milk.
I'm going to the store right after this.
Just get a tiny little, the tiny little one.
My sister needs 250 mils for cooking, so I'll get a 500 and use 250 myself.
You won't even need that much because you want to leave some air in there. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So the basic process couldn't be simpler.
That'll help.
So what, you need a couple colanders and...
You need one colander,
Yeah.
one bowl big enough to catch the kefir,
Yeah.
and you can gather around if you like. It's pretty simple. There you go. You should note throughout this process, and for anybody watching this video, that this is the way I do it. It's not the way. There are other ways. And I don't understand why that's so humorous, but I'm glad you're amused.
Oh, Michael.
Oh, Wendy. We're all friends, can you tell? Okay. So now I've got the fresh grains here. What am I going to do with them? Oh, I know.
What is that?
Haunting and beautiful.
It was perfect timing.
It's coming from someone's car. I was hoping it was that Chinese guy that plays on the corner.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
The guy with the long hair. You know that guy?
Probably for some.
He's getting really good
Really?
over the years. Yeah, he's just gotten better and better. Here, take a look, Rob and Wendy. This big one here is what happens when the grains start to clump. They go from forming
Cottage cheese.
a loose colony to a more tight colony. Keep these. These are the mature cultures. This is the so-called mother. This turns into what you've heard described as the Tibetan milk mushroom. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the big one. See, here's another one forming. I'm not going to give these away because I want them to cultivate and become bigger. So I'm going to give you a spoonful of these. That's all you need. I started with less than that.
All right.
This will also be easier to care for on the road because you have fewer. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do...
Actually, if you give me a small amount more, I can get my sister started too. She's interested as well.
Okay. That'll do.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
What is this good for again?
For your colon.
And?
Well, 2 weeks after I started taking this, I was no longer allergic to cats, really.
Is that what you did?
Well, yeah, it's one of the things it did. It's also very soothing to the nerves. It makes the best cream cheese and or sour cream you've ever tasted. And I don't have any right now, unfortunately. But that's what I could do with this if you'd like to see how to make it. You can learn it on the web like I did. Okay. So the rest of the grains, before you do anything else, whether you're making sour cream, cream cheese, whatnot, The rest of your grains have to be preserved because you're going to be splashing around soap and water, cleaning things, vinegar, salt, whatever. I use salt in the cheese making and sour cream making process because it preserves it quite well. I really don't want to get that into my mother culture. See, there are even some small ones there. They'll often fall through the cracks of this thing, and I'll end up crunching on them. You can eat them. You can eat the excess ones or put them in the blender and grind them up. See that long string there? They're kind of stringy like snot. It's I don't know what you call that. It's basically I don't know, some sort of biological material that is attached to the grains when you don't do what I'm about to. I don't have any milk right now. I have to go get some. Since I don't have any milk handy, I'm going to give my kefir grains a rest. I'm going to give them a rest by simply doing this. No more than 24 hours. Just enough to cover them so that they're wet. You can do this on the road as well, although it wouldn't be ideal because you'd probably want to give them the best chance of survival that you can. There you go. Now the grains are preserved and they're in good shape, and they go back in the closet.
So
before 24 hours are up,
then you take the water out and then you put milk in.
I'll do the same thing again, only I will have had milk standing out for a half an hour to bring it up to room temperature, because I don't want to shock the grains. Right? You don't take freezing cold milk straight out of the fridge and pour it into something that's at room temperature with the kefir. With the kombucha, never. So now that these are ready to go, they can't just sit like that. I don't want to put water in them. I don't want to put them in water. I want to give them the best chance they have, of survival. I just ate a steak.